Hey, welcome back, Lucky Bourbon Society. I'm Tim.
I'm Robin.
And man, it's getting windy down here in Florida. We are in preparation for Hurricane Helene making landfall tonight. Wow. Well, Category 3, that's up to 115 miles an hour for you folks that don't live in Florida. And we're going to talk about a review on Jefferson's Ocean, because I know that ship is going to be rocking out there tonight, whatever voyage they got going, man. We're going to do that right after this. All right, welcome back. We got that window closed.
Thank goodness, because man,
we're expecting this hurricane tonight. So down here in Florida, we're releasing this video right on Thursday. Right?
Thursday,
on schedule. Our thoughts and prayers are with the folks up in the Panhandle
and those in the Tampa Bay area with that storm surge going in Tampa Bay. They have a lot of issues with flooding there, so prayers out to those folks.
Yep. In the meantime, we're gonna do a review tonight on Jefferson's Ocean Aged at Sea. This is voyage number 26. This was their very first rye that they did. A little bit about Jefferson's. This is distilled in Canada.
It's also my first rye.
It was, that's right.
This is what got me drinking rye whiskey. And this is my started.
I almost forgot about that. Yeah. We're out at a restaurant, right? In
Jazzy's and Cocoa Beach.
They had about 5 bottles up there, and she said, I'll go with the Jefferson's.
Yeah, let's give it a try.
I almost forgot about that.
Sorry.
Jefferson's is, the juice is distilled in Canada, right? So this is going to be a Canadian whiskey. It's from an undisclosed distillery. They don't list where it is. There's no age statement, right? So what we've read is it's been aged roughly 5 years before it went on its voyage, right? And then it was in a number 3 charred barrel. Mm-hmm. They took it out of that number 3 charred barrel and then put it into a toasted barrel. So it's kind of double barreled. And that's when they put it on the ship.
Right? And it's the motion of the ocean.
Yeah. So what Jefferson's says is it was created as an experiment, basically, just to see how much of an impact that the aging process would have on a ship with the motion, right? With the weather,
makes sense,
the humidity and whatnot.
The sloshing of the...
and the different climates that they go in. So, I mean, it's interesting. Is it a gimmick? I don't know. But
I like it.
Yeah, it's something interesting, right?
Mm.
Jefferson says that each voyage that they take typically crosses the equator at least 4 times.
Wow.
And they visit over 30 ports on average sailing.
How fun would that be to be on that voyage with those barrels? And
I can tell you it wouldn't be fun at all.
Especially during a hurricane.
Yeah, no. And I'm sure that this is on a cargo container ship, right? And
but we can dream. We could think it could be on a nice
and you got
luxury
those
cruise liner.
Sweaty merchant marine. You might like that. All these sweaty merchant marines in the bilge of the ship, and they have a rough life, and that is a very tough job. I don't think I'd want to be in there. Now,
true that.
Put it on a Royal Caribbean cruise line, and I'm good to go. I'll be sucking up that bourbon. Their first voyage was only 3 barrels when they started this. Voyage number 26 is a company released ocean aged rye, they call it, right? Okay. Right. Another term that they use is it's called hyper aged at sea, whatever that means. I mean, I would say that could be, hyper quick, right?
Well, if you think about it, if it was aged 5 years before it went to sea, and then the hyper aging process could be due to the motion of the ocean, the whiskey's going back and forth and sloshing in the
could
barrel.
Be, and also could be the time. I'm sure that
the length.
I'm quite sure that the Jefferson's Ocean whiskey is not the only thing on that ship. They probably have every other component from China and everything else where they're shipping things or maybe exports, and that's probably why they're making.
Like you said, the temperature and humidity.
Yeah, let's talk about this one. Each bottle comes with this little hang tag, and it talks about the voyage that the ship actually went on. You want to hear about this?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a little hang tag here. Let's read it. Jefferson's Ocean Rye whiskey is aged first in a number of 3 charred barrels, then double barreled and split between a charred 3 and toasted barrels, like I said earlier. Jefferson Ocean Rye was then hyper aged. It was in hurricane season when it left the port of Savannah, Georgia. Right?
We could be repeating history.
We could be repeating history right now. Yeah. So it was in hurricane season, and it was headed for Manzanillo in the Panama Canal. While the number of named storms that developed in the Atlantic Basin was above normal, fewer than expected attained hurricane status. So they're probably tropical storms, right? Which is still some pretty good sea conditions.
Absolutely,
right?
yeah.
I wouldn't be on there. They'd be barfing, wouldn't you?
Oh, forget it.
Yeah, forget it. It says, while the number of named storms developed in the Atlantic Basin was above normal, fewer expected to attain hurricane status. Seas were slight, and the weather was clear, and it was clear through the canal. Ocean Voyage 26 was off to a quiet start due to a slight weakening of the El Niño in the tropical Pacific, warmer than normal surface temperatures in parts of the tropic Atlantic. It was summer above the equator, but that would change below the equator. So, it's going to change the temperatures up and down. Are going to fluctuate with those barrels. Those barrels are going to...
Because where it's summer, it's winter, and where it's winter, it's summer.
When it's cold, those the barrel staves, they're tightening up. It's kind of like your skin, right? When it's warm, they're opening up and sucking that devil's cut in there. While en route to New Zealand, surface temperatures dropped significantly in the South Pacific Basin. Subsurface temperatures had been below average, supporting the cooling of the water at the surface. Relatively weak easterly winds were overpowered, and the upper level westerlies, resulting in a wind shear that dramatically turned the chilly seas as Ocean Rye Voyage 26 pushed through the Aucklands on down to Brisbane.
Interesting.
All the way down to Australia, right?
Yeah.
Coastal waters off the lee side of Australia went calm until rounding the southern tip of the continent in Melbourne, where Voyage 26 again faced rough seas. Well, that's gonna mix those barrels up, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Right. I wonder how many of these guys on this ship that any of them like, hey, we got bourbon on this ship. They think they broke in a container, like got a barrel, and they were drinking like Jack Sparrow or anything.
I would.
Probably right.
Yeah.
You'd be barfing. There we go. So again, it faced rough seas until crossing back over the equator of the North New Guinea. Summer weather had returned. Temperatures were again in the mid to upper 80s, and the seas flattened all the way to Singapore, Korea, and Japan. I would say these are export. Whatever's on the ship, they're exporting at the same time, right? All storm activity was concentrated off the Central America coast, where multiple tropical cyclones were blowing simultaneously. By the time Voyage 26 reached the area, all the storms had blown themselves out, and the passage back through the canal and home safely to Savannah was smooth, with barely a ripple upon the sea. Now, they state on their label, the constant motion and dramatic fluctuations in the air temperature caramelizes the sugars of the wood, and the salt air permeates the barrels.
Oh, yeah. And then you consider the salt air.
Yeah. The final result, rye whiskey that is a darker, richer, and more caramelized. It is non-chill filtered, allowing for an even fuller flavor profile, bringing you a rye like no others.
One of my favorites.
What do you think? Is it real or is it bullshit? Let's take a look. All right. This is a fresh crack for us. I've never had it. Robin had it at that one restaurant. Let's just see what we got here.
You ever visit Cocoa Beach, go to Jazzy's. Whoop. Right there on A1A. It is dark in color, huh? Man, that just smells so good. The nose.
Yeah, the nose on
awesome.
it. Going for a nose on this thing.
Smells some caramel.
Very soft.
Soft, yeah. A little bit of nutmeg in the back.
Yeah. You could definitely smell the rye.
I haven't had this in a while, but man, is that good.
It's definitely oak straight up front.
Mm-hmm.
That rye spice hits you, right?
Yeah, a
Kind
little
of.
bit. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't know the mash bill on this. It's Canadian whiskey, so it could be up to 100% rye. I doubt it based on it because it almost tastes a little bit more bourbon, almost to me like a boo rye almost, right?
Oh, maybe, yeah.
You know, there's more of a
But
bourbon.
it's very smooth and the
bourbon
caramel
taste to it.
and vanilla coming out. The finish,
Mhm.
medium finish on the palate.
Yeah, I think on that second sip, it smooths out a little bit. Tastes a little bit smoother, right?
Man, that shit's good.
You like it? The finish is, I'd say, a medium finish. It dissipates pretty quick, right? It's definitely oaky.
A little leather on that.
Yeah, a little charred leather in the back side of it.
What's the proof? And
This comes in, I think, at a 93 proof. You know, I didn't even take a look, but it definitely tastes as that low proof. Yeah,
and that's how I roll. I like the lower proof.
yeah, 98. Yeah, 98 proof or 96. I'm sorry, 96 proof.
But this here is what got me going on the rye bourbon whiskey.
You can see right on the front, the ship is actually it's a cargo container ship on there, much like you see coming in out of the ports. Who knows what else they got on there? I tried to look it up to find out what the name of the ship was, but they don't. Probably for probably have an NDA signed or something on there.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure it's what is it, Mazurk? You know, remember the movie?
The movie,
yeah. Captain Phillips, where the pirates took. Wouldn't it be cool? Like the pirates took over this
and
ship,
all they wanted was the bourbon.
and they just wanted the bourbon.
Hell yeah, man, that's a true pirate.
I'm ready to be a pirate. Right? Let's find out where this ship is going, and let's get on this bad boy. Let's take one more sip on this.
Hey, and for an MSRP around $80, you cannot go wrong. I would spend $80 on this all day, every day, because it's just my jam.
Yeah, nice and sweet. Anyway, it's about all we got. Again, our thoughts and prayers are with the folks up in the Panhandle. If that thing takes a hook, you know, that spaghetti model that they have, if it takes a hook and goes more towards Alabama, of course, we're with you on those folks.
Mm-hmm.
And
it could go right and come over us.
Yeah, we've seen that as well. So
all the living in paradise has its downfalls
and upfalls, right?
Yep.
But here's to Hurricane Helene.
Helene. Peace out.
Peace out. We're out.
Hold on. The ship's going down, and I'm grabbing the rye. We're going down together.